live. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, the show that you guys have all been waiting for from last week. Jazakallah all for joining us. I'm your host and presenter, your co-pilot, your general, your coach, Mohammed Kota from the K-Way Institute, presenting here live from Hilaal TV in Johannesburg, our nerve center to prep you for your final exam. Guys, I know, Jazakallah, for all the comments that came through last week. We had a phenomenal amount of comments that came through. We had questions that came through. And I hope that you have been watching it on the Hilaal TV handle on YouTube. And you've gone through it. You've worked through it. Right? Guys, we are at the time. The battle lines have been drawn. We are 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from our final exams. And what's my job here? My job is to prep you, not only with the content, not only to give you the weapons for this battle, but also to prep you mentally. Because remember something, ultimately, every battle needs a strategy. And that's what we're here to do. Now, guys, this is a live show, so the number will be appearing up on your screen, right? As we go through the show, please send your comments, send your pictures, whatever I can choose some of the questions for this week. Some of them will carry over into next week. We're going to be doing paper 1, paper 2 right through as a build-up to your final battle, which is in 2 weeks' time. Okay? Now, guys, I've went through the paper. I sat with a cohort of grade 12 learners today, and when I looked at that prelim paper, do you know what was the most astonishing thing? Do you know what was the most amazing thing about working through this math paper 1 prelim paper? Is that only the first 3 topics, guys, and I'm going to get straight into the show. So I hope you grab your scientific calculators, grab your books. We're getting into the show right now, and I'm going to show you the battle strategy that we're going to be using in order to win this war against mathematics. Remember, 2 weeks, the countdown has started, and we need to make sure that we are fully prepared for that onslaught that is about to take place. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Here is your strategy. We worked out that if you did only your algebra and got full marks, if you only did your sequences and series and got full marks, and you only did your functions and got full marks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, matriculants, I want you to know that this is already 50 out of your 150, right? Actually, not 50, it's 75 out of 150, which is 50%. So there's absolutely no way you can fail. Remember, we are not practicing here to make you pass. We are practicing here for distinction. You want to get a distinction, so you want to get into university and you want to pursue your careers, right? The number to dial, 065-863-1440. Actually, don't dial. It's a WhatsApp line. So take your pictures, put your comments. Let's get some feedback. So I just want to again, welcome everybody from all the different provinces, teachers, learners, parents, everybody, you part of the show. Welcome to the show. Okay, so guys, just your algebra, sequences and series, and functions is enough to give you 50% for your paper. We're not talking about calculus. We're not talking about probability. We're not even talking about finance. That is bonus marks. Just to get your 50%, you could have stopped. If you did these 3 topics in your paper 1 and stopped after functions and you were 100% ready and confident that you got full marks for these 3, you would have already bagged 50%. So there's absolutely no excuse to fail. There's no excuse for you to get less than 30% for your exam. Absolutely no excuse. I'm going to crack into one of the questions that came up today, and this one here came from Roshni. So how's it, Roshni? Roshni Islamic School, this question came in here, and the question says, show that the maximum value, right? Show that the maximum value, and I know you guys, many of you have seen this, maximum value, let me just lock my screen there, maximum value of the square root of minus x squared plus 4x plus 12 is 4. This question was worth 4 marks, guys. This question was worth 4 marks. Now, We're going to be doing a host. Remember, we're still busy with paper 1, so I'm not taking any paper 2 questions. I'm still focusing right until calculus. Probability and finance, we'll do it in later shows. Remember, as from next week, we got 2 live shows a week. Every Tuesday and every Thursday here on Hilaal TV channel 347 at 9 p.m. as a build-up right through till your final exams. Okay, so take this question down. I hope you're enjoying the show, and the level of the questions that I'm giving you, right, is going to be competitive. Remember something, you need to know how to attack. So where do we start here? Whenever they talk about the maximum value of a quadratic, what we want to do, guys, what we want to do is we want to complete the square. What do we want to do, guys? We want to complete the square. Why? What do we want to do? Generally, if you had a trinomial like x squared minus 4x minus 10, and when you complete the square, what you want to do is you want to get it in the form a into x minus p all squared plus q and read off the q value. The q value is your minimum or your maximum. You do know that. Why? Because that is your turning point formula. Grade 12s? I think some parents will lose us, or we'll lose you at this point, because grade 12s know what we're talking about. When you want to find minimum or maximum, there are 2 ways of doing it. Number 1 is by putting it into this formula and reading off the q value, or the other way is calculus using the derivative. So let's do this. Let me show you how we're going to tackle this question. So in our answer, we've got this is equal to the square root, there's the square root, and what do we want to do? We want to complete the square. And where do we want to complete the square? There. We want to complete the square there. So what do? We take out the negative sign, so negative into, what do I have here? I've got x squared. Remember, because we're taking out the negative, all these signs change, minus 4x minus 12. This is equal to the square root of minus into. Now, we need to complete the square. Now, I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to show you a shortcut. I'm going to show you a hack, how we can short circuit, bypass the long way of completing the square. I'm about to show you a shortcut, and that's why you love the show. Right, so let's go. Let's break this up. X squared, x, minus, minus. We need to complete the square, and what is the shortcut? We take the coefficient of x, we divide it by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, right? And at the back, we say minus whatever we divided by 2, whatever coefficient of x we had, we square it. So divide by 2 minus x squared, right? What's the rule? Divide by 2 minus x squared. Say it with me. Divide by 2 minus x squared. Divide by 2 minus x squared. So let's go. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. Minus 12 minus this coefficient, what we divided by 2, we squared. 2 squared is 4. Right, let's go. So this is it. So there we go. It's the shortcut of completing the square. So here goes again, minus into x minus 2 all squared minus 12, negative 4, negative 16. Right? Until here, remember, systematic approach, step by step. We are finding the maximum value, and we've got to prove that it's equal to 4. So this is equal to, we took out the negative, we throw the negative back in, we multiply it in here, and we multiply it by that. So what do I have? What do I have? I need to close the brackets there. So that's square root of minus into x minus 2 all squared. Negative times negative is a positive 16. So here we go. A, watch, a into x minus p all squared plus q. So your q value is your minimum or your maximum. So what's my q value? So we're looking at the square root. There's a square root of 16. The square root of 16. And what is the square root of 16? 4. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. We got our 4 marks. Okay, have a look at this one, guys. I'm going to move up here to the side. Take this one down. Take this one down. Right? Remember, these shows are all going to go up onto Hilaal TV's website as well as onto YouTube. So what you can do is you can replay these episodes over and over until you understand this fully. All right, so this one, like I said, came from Roshni Islamic School. I hope you guys understood it, and I thought that I'll just share it with everybody else. Let's go to some of the questions, guys. As you're taking this one down, some of the questions that came through from last week. So I'm just going to go, let's just activate this. And one of the questions, this one came from Sky Barb. Skyebarb, right? I don't know who's Sky Barb, but Sky Barb, wherever you sent this question from, actually, this was actually a quadratic number pattern. You asked for a higher order quadratic number pattern that you needed us to do. So let's get into that one. So guys, I hope you've taken this one down, and I hope that you are enjoying the show, right? Having your coffee, eating your popcorn, having your scientific calculator, and doing math. What a beautiful combination, right? Nothing better than to do math on a Thursday night. Let's go. Let's go. Right, so they tell you here, a quadratic sequence has the following properties. A quadratic sequence has the following properties. Now, this is the one I know that you guys are all scared of in the exam, but I'm going to show you how easy is it to do. Has the following properties. Now, this is your higher order question 4. So this one went to Sky Barb. Hi, I need help with this question. So here's your question. Right. The second difference is 10. Take this down. The second difference is 10. Number 2, the first two terms are equal. The first two terms are equal. Question number 3, T1 plus T2 plus T3 equals 28. T1 plus T2 plus T3 is equal to 28. Right. Show that the general term of the sequence, so question, here's your question, show that your general term, take this question down with me, guys. The general term of the sequence is given by Tn equals 5n squared minus 15n plus 16, minus 15n plus 16. Now, it was worth 5 marks, so here we go. Here's our answer. Right, so whether you are a teacher, whether you're an educator, whether you are a facilitator, whether you are from the district, whether you are a learner, a parent, or a student, right, I want you to take this one down. Let's process this information, and we need to ensure that we get the general term to be that. So all we have to do is we need to now pick up keywords, guys. We need to pick up keywords. The first keyword that we need to pick up is that it's a quadratic number pattern. They're telling you the second difference is 10. The first two terms are equal. So if we had a pattern, let's just put it like that. We had a pattern, and this goes on to infinity, right? We got a pattern. They tell us that the first two terms are equal, but they don't tell us what the term is. So what you do in the exam, you go and you call it x. So if the first two terms are equal, that means that is x, and that is x, right? The first two terms are equal. T1 plus T2 plus T3 equals to 28. Right, so now we know that we got x, x. We know that we need to get our second difference. Right, so let's call this x, x. We don't know what the third term is. Let's call it y. Right, we know that x plus y, we know, they're telling us here that T1 plus T2 plus T3, so x plus y is equal to 28. There we go. So x plus x is 2x plus y is equal to 28. And let's call that equation number 1. Remember, all we need to do is solve for x and y. If we can solve for x and y, we know we are on a good wicket. We know we're going to conquer this. We're going to smash this question. I'm going to smash your boy. Ring a bell. Right. The second difference is 10. Now watch here. The second difference. Now that's, so the first two terms are equal. We sorted with that. First two terms are equal. T1 plus T2 plus T3 is equal to 28. We sorted with that. There we go. Right. The second difference is 10. Now, how do we get our first difference? X minus x is 0. What would this first difference here be? Y minus x. So y minus x. That's my first difference. My second difference is that minus that, which is y minus x minus 0, which is equal to y minus x. And they're telling me that my second difference is 10. So y minus x is equal to 10. And I'm going to call that equation number 2. I think you know where I'm going with this. I think you know where I am going with this. We now need to solve for x and y. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's start here. Equation 1, equation 2, we're now going to solve simultaneously. So now we're going to say y is equal to x. We're going to take the minus x on the other side. That's going to be x plus 10. We're now going to substitute it here. So we're going to have 2x plus, instead of y, what am I going to put? X plus 10 is equal to 28. So 2x plus 1x is 3x is equal to 28 minus 10, which is 18. So divide by 3, x is equal to 6. If x is equal to 6, y is equal to 6 plus 10, y is equal to 16. Right, we've solved for x and y. Remember, guys, I'm not doing rough calculation. Remember, I'm not doing rough calculation. Exactly the way I answer it here is the way you can answer it or unpack it in your exam. You're going to get marks for it. Right, we're not yet done. Obviously, we just solved for x and y. So now instead of x here, what am I going to put? 6. And my first two terms are equal. And y is 16. So we know 16 minus 6 is 10. So that's going to be 10. And 10 minus 0 is 10 again. So I'm going to erase this. I hope you took it down. I'm going to erase that. Okay, there we go. 10 minus 0 is 10. Right. Now we got our pattern. What did we do? We took these. This is what we call cryptic clues. We've taken the cryptic clues. We've constructed, right? We've constructed an algorithm. We're about to construct an algorithm taking these patterns into consideration. Now we need to make an equation. Now you know from here, we need to show that the general term is given by this. So let's go. You know the rule. We know the second difference, 2a equals your second difference. 3a plus b is equal to your first difference. A plus b plus c is equal to your first term. So let's start solving simultaneously. I'm going to move over here to the side. Let's go. And we need to get 5 minus 15 and 16. So let's go. 2a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10 over 2 is 5. Yay! We don't think we're right. We know we're right. 3a plus b, 3a, so we got a is equal to 5. 3a plus b is equal to 0. 3 into, we just found a is 5, plus b is equal to 0. B is equal to, this is 15, we'll come on to the other side as minus 15. And there we go, minus 15. And you know where we're going with this. A plus b plus c is equal to 6. We got a is 5. We got b minus 15 plus c is equal to 6. Minus 10 plus c is equal to 6. C is equal to 6 plus 10. C is equal to 16. And there we go. Therefore, Tn equals an squared plus bn plus c. Tn equals a. 5n squared plus bn minus 15n plus c plus 16. And there we go. It's a work of art. Beautiful. Beautiful. As Mr. Khamisa, one of my mentors, would say, I like it. Mr. Khamisa, I hope you're watching the show. Lots of respect, lots of love from Kway and Hilaal TV. Okay, guys, I hope you're taking this one down. I hope you're taking this one down and you're understanding what we did. We converted it into x's and y's, and that's what you want to do with these cryptic clues. You want to convert it to x's and y's. You want to have equations, and you want to solve simultaneous equations. I cannot believe it that time is moving so fast. I've just got an indication. We only got 60 seconds before the break. Can you believe it? 5 minutes. Okay, alhamdulillah. Let's look at it. Another question came through, so I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Guys, if you like it, Hit us up in the comments. Let us know how you're finding the show. And the number that's appearing on the screen, please send your pictures, send your questions through to our Hilaal live question. Let's have a look. Let's see. So that was the one that was done there. Okay, I'm going to put up, remember, there are some run-of-the-mill questions that you need to know, right? There are certain weapons that you can use in order to establish or to guarantee you 60 to 70%. And that's what I'm going to be doing in the series of 8 shows to make sure that you understand. Our number, 065-863-1440. That's the number at the bottom of the screen. Send us your messages, send us your pictures. Okay, let's see. 7xy negative 11 is an arithmetic sequence. Determine the values of x and y. So we're busy with some sequences and series. Let's go through this one. I'm going to take this one. I don't know who this one comes from. You guys want me to send you a shout out? We'll even give you, oh, that one went out. Okay. Aisha, you deleted the question. No stress. No stress. Let's wait for other questions to come through. Enjoying the lesson. Thank you so much, guys. Let's erase all of this, and I hope you've all taken it down, and I hope that you are loving the show. Okay, another run-of-the-mill question. They told you, I'm just going to go through here, they told us Sn is equal to 4n squared plus 1. Sn, they're telling you Sn equals 4n squared plus 1. Find, I think it's T6. Find the sixth term. Find T6. Right. There's the question, here's your answer. Guys, you have to know these questions. This question and the next one. Do you know which is the next one? For which values of x does a certain series converge or diverge? They don't ask you about divergence anymore. They used to ask until 2013, 2014. Now the focus is only on convergent series. Okay, so they give you the sum of the series, find T6. Now, you need to know that T6, I want you to know this, T6 is equal to S6 minus S5. To find the sixth term, you find the sum of 6 terms minus the sum of 5 terms to give you what the sixth term is. Not to find T6, you don't say T5 minus T4 or T7 minus T6. No, to find T6, you take S6 minus S5. So let's do it together. Let's do it together. T6 is equal to S6 minus S5. So S6 would be 4 into 6 squared plus 1 minus S5 is 4 into 5 squared plus 1. T6 is equal to, let's do this, 6 squared is 36. 36 times 4, 36 times 2, 72 is 144, am I right? I hope so. 144 plus 1 is 145. Minus 5 squared is 25 times 4 is 100 plus 1 is 101. So we are left with 145 minus 101 and your answer is 44. So T6 is equal to 44. I'm sure I'm right. 72, 144. Yes, I am right. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. We don't have much time. We're going to be cutting for break very soon. Send us your questions. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. The number that is on the screen is the number that you are going to be WhatsApping. Right, 065-863-1440. That's the number to call. Hit us up in your comments. Tell us how you're liking or are you enjoying the show. Okay, so I hope you've taken this one down. Let's go on to that convergence series. Let's go into the conversion for which value. And I'm giving you templates, guys. I want you to copy and paste this because although these may seem like your basic questions, but guys, these basic questions are what's going to give you the marks. So they tell you for which values of x will the following series converge. Let's take this question down. For which value or values of x, for which value or values of x will the following series converge? The key word here is converge. So what is it? 4x minus 3. So they tell you 4x minus 3 plus 4x minus 3 squared plus 4x minus 3 cubed plus ... Guys, it's 4 marks. 4 marks for Mahala. How do we do it? Right, here we go. This question is going to take us straight into break. For it to converge, we know r must be less than 1 but greater than minus 1. R must be a fraction. How do we calculate r? Term 2 divided by term 1. So how do we calculate r? Term 2, 4x minus 3 squared over 4x minus 3 less than 1 greater than minus 1. Right, now 4x minus 3 and the 1 4x minus 3 will cancel out. You're left with 4x minus 3 less than 1 greater than minus 1. Now guys, this is the grade 10. I've come through papers and I've seen grade 12 learners still not knowing how to solve a double inequality. So here goes. We take the 3 over on both sides. So you got minus 1 plus 3, which is 2, less than 4x, less than 1 plus 3 is 4. Now we divide by 4. Remember, we only want x in the middle. So we're going to divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. 4 and 4 will cancel out. 2 over 4 is a half, less than x, less than 4 divided by 4 is 1. So for these values of x, for anywhere between 1 and a half, the series will converge. Now you write. I want you to do this in the exam. I'm showing you technique. After you write this, you write for all other values. For all other values of x, the series diverges. And there we go. That's your template. That's how you will answer a question like this. This would have given you guaranteed another 8 marks in your exam. They give you another sigma notation. They gave you another sigma notation. We're going to cut into break just now. I see Precious Motsebe has sent us some questions here. Right? There we go. Right? Guys, we're cutting for break. We're cutting for break. I hope you're enjoying the show. Tell all your friends to watch the show, channel 347 DSTV. This is where math is at. I'll see you guys after the break. Welcome back to the Qurtuba Online K-Way show here on Hilaal TV channel 347. Thank you all for the comments that are coming through. Amazing show. The energy in the studio is electric at our nerve center here in Rivonia, Johannesburg, South Africa. So guys, keep your comments coming through. Keep your pictures coming through. What we will answer today, we'll answer. If not, we'll carry it over into next week, Tuesday. But be sure that your questions will be answered. Okay, now one of the questions that came out here, I'm not too sure. This one came out from Rahma. Rahma, I hope you spoke to us last week and we didn't have chance to do your question. We're actually doing it for you today. So, and this is a very popular question amongst the calculus, within calculus. So they tell you that f of x is equal to x squared. They tell you f of x is equal to x squared. Sorry, I'm talking with a cap in my mouth. Right. Determine the minimum distance between the point. Determine the minimum distance. And it's one question for 8 marks, guys. The minimum distance between the point 10 and 2 and a point on F. The question is worth 8 marks. Now, how do we tackle a question like this in the exam? Determine the minimum distance between 10 and 2 and a point on F. Right. Now, you know, in the previous one, the minute we know, remember something, we need 2 points, guys. We need 2 points. So our 1 point is 10 and 2. The next point that we have is a point on graph F. So let's say that's a parabola. And there's a point, right? We know that the y value at that point, y value, y is equal to x squared. So your y value is x squared. You must just call the 1 point x. So your other coordinate, your other point is x and x squared. Now, many of you, when you saw a question like this, you are up in arms and you said, no, but they didn't give us 2 points. There's a problem with the question. No, the department, no, they didn't do anything wrong. They did it absolutely correctly. You had to know that if your 1 point is 10 and 2, your other point we don't know its value. It's x, so you call it x. And its y value is the function value. Its y value is the function value. So there's x and there's y, there's x and there's y. So we can call this x1, y1. We can call this x2, y2. Right, now we want the minimum distance. So what is our distance formula? So distance squared is equal to x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. You know from analytics, distance is the square root of that. You know this is your distance formula from analytics. Your distance formula from analytics, that's your formula. But when we're finding it, what we're going to do, we're going to say d squared is equal to that. So d squared is equal to, let's go, x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. So d squared, I think you know where I'm going with this. Our answer is going to be in terms of d squared. So obviously our final answer would be, when we're finding the derivative, we'll find x and we'll put it into here. So let's expand this. So we're going to have x squared minus 10x times 2 is minus 20x plus 10 squared is 100 plus, again, we're squaring a binomial. So that's x to the power 4. That's plus 4. Minus 2 squared is 4. Minus 2x squared times 2 is minus 4x squared. So there we go. D squared is equal to that. D squared is equal to x to the power 4. There we go, x to the power 4. X squared minus 4x squared is minus 3x squared, right? Let's see, what else do we have? Minus 20x. And then you got 100 plus 4, which is 104. Okay, so there we go. D squared is equal to this. So now, d squared, or d squared dash, or d squared over dx. We're now going to find the derivative. D squared over dx is equal to, we're going to find the derivative. We are now finding the derivative, because we now need to solve for x. So that's going to be 4x cubed minus 6x squared minus 20. Yeah, 3, right? 4 times 1 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 times negative 3 is minus 6. Hey, 2 minus 1 is 1. And then 1 times minus 20 is minus 20. X to the power 0, the constant will fall away. See, always good to double check. Right, we almost made a cardinal error. Right, what are we going to do now? We now need to solve for x. So all we're going to do now, what you can do, go into your calculators. Go into your calculators and how to factorize a cube. So let's go to our calculators. We're going to go into the cubic function there. I'm going to go into fx. Now, guys, if you guys got an Android phone, you guys must download this app. It's the FX 991. There we go. So basically, it's your 991 on your phone. So you got it there. So it's easy. Obviously, you can't take it in the exam, but it's just good to have while you're working. So let's go mode. Let's go equation. Ax cubed plus bx squared. We're solving for that. We got 4. Enter. We don't have an x squared. We're going to put a 0. We've got x, negative 6. And we've got negative 20. Boom. X1 is equal to 2 and other two imaginary values. You only got, so now we know that this is equal to 0. For minimum or maximum, your derivative is equal to 0. X is equal to 2. Right? Now, guys, you guys do know your Casio. Some of your examiners or examination centers will allow you to take your silver calculator in. Right? Take your silver calculator in with you. Go to mode. Go to equations, how to factorize a cube. And obviously, you're going to get your answer here as x is equal to 2. Now we got x. We are not yet done. That's why the question is worth 8 marks. So let's go through the process one more time. Here was your first coordinate. There we go. We need 2 pairs of coordinates. They didn't give you a second pair. Your second pair you found by calling the one coordinate x and the other one. So let's say this point here was 10 and 2. Your second coordinate is x, and then your function value is x squared. So there we go. Right, so we called it x1, y1, x2, y2. We used the distance formula from analytics. We left it as d squared. We substituted our values. we expanded, we collected our like terms, we used the derivative, and the derivative must equal to 0, and we solve for x. Now, we are not yet done. All we did is we found x. We found x for minimum or maximum. We found x for minimum or maximum. So let's take this. I'm going to move over here to the side. So we're now going to take this. You don't put it in here. You're going to get 0. It's got to go into here. So we're now going to say d squared is equal to x to the power 4, 2 to the power 4, minus 3 into 2 squared, minus 20 into 2 plus 104. And let's see, what does that give us? Let's do it. What is d squared? So we're going to go to our calculator. We're going to say 2 to the power 4 minus 3 into 2 to the power 2 minus 20 into 2, close brackets, plus 104. And what do I get? I get 68. D squared is equal to 68. Therefore, D is equal to the square root of 68. Therefore, your minimum distance, is equal to square root 68 if you want, or so the square root of 68, 2 root 17. They will give you full marks there, or you can simplify it, or you can say 2 root 17, or even if you wanted to, you could have converted it, you get 8,25. 8,25. And that is the minimum distance between the 2 points. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the show, and I hope you are enjoying the system. I just moved over to the side because I didn't have space on the board. But what I want you to do is I want you to unpack it the way I've unpacked it here on the board. You can answer it in your exams exactly the way it's done here. Okay, I got a comment that just came here from one of the district officials from the Department of Education saying, "Hi, Mr. K, great job, thoroughly enjoying the show. Thank you so much, ma'am, and I hope that it's of benefit to everybody across the country." Okay, guys, remember, as I promised you, this weekend is a live free workshop. 2-day workshop with me. I'll be hosting it. I'm flying to Durban tomorrow morning. We will be beaming from the Al Falah College in KZN. You can go to the OCAF website. I'll give it to you now. We'll even put it on the group. In fact, you can go to OCAF. You can just Google ocaf.org. awqaf.org. .za. You can register and you can join. This is for all matriculants across the country. It's free of charge. It's 2 days. We're starting on Saturday, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We're doing paper 1. We're going to try and cover as much as we can from paper 1 on Saturday. If there's maybe 1 or 2 topics that we need to carry over into Sunday, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock on Sunday again, and we will finish paper 2 as well. So we're doing paper 1, paper 2. It's our final grade 12 workshop. You will be live with us. You'll be joining it free of charge. It's just one-on-one. It's me and you. We're going to be working through all the different, what I've done, I've taken the prelim papers from Gauteng, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and Free State. Put them all together, and we're going to be working through a variety of questions in order to make sure that you are fully prepared for your final exam. It's our last workshop, 14 and 15 October. After this, you'll only be watching us live here. There's no more workshopping to be done with you, the grade 12 learner. So guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. The number to send the question, 065-863-1440. Let's go back to the lines. Let's go back to the lines and let's see what's coming up there. Let's see. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one there. They're asking for help here. Right. One of the questions that came out here. Now, let's talk about functions, right? The same question that's here is one of the questions that I have here in my paper. So let's go through this one here. I'm erasing here. Let's ensure that your functions is on point. So let's choose a functions question, right? Let's choose a functions question, and let's see what we do with that functions question. Okay, here goes, right? So let's draw the diagram. Take the diagram down. Here we go. They give you a parabola going like that. That's point E. And they give you a line coming down that way. That there is point B. They then give you ST, they give you that, they tell you that's point S, that's point T, this is point D, A and B, D, A and B. They give you this point here as C. That point is A, O, B. This is graph G. That's graph F. Right, they tell you that f of x is equal to minus into x minus 7 over 2 all squared plus 81 over 4. G of x is equal to minus 3x plus 24. There we go. Right, they want the coordinates of E. Question number 1. Question number 1, they want the coordinates of E. Now, guys, I'm showing you how you can guarantee marks in functions. I know functions is a major stress for many of you, but I'm telling you, if you know your work in functions, it's so easy. It's a place to bank marks. It's a place to score marks. Okay, so they want the coordinates of E. What is E? What is E? Remember, the only question you need to answer in functions is what is and then how. These are the two questions you need to ask yourself in your mind and then activate or engage. So, what is E? E is the turning point. Where do I get? If the answer is not there, it must be here. And there's your turning point. What are your coordinates of E? E's coordinates is, instead of negative 7 over 2, we're going to put 7 over 2. Remember, you change the sign. A into x minus p all squared plus q, and then 81 over 4. So that was a fairly straightforward question. It was only worth 2 marks. Question number 2. Right. Determine the average gradient of the curve between x equal 1 and x equal 5. So they want the average gradient between x equal 1 and x equal 5. Right, now we know we got the 1x, so that's your question. So we got the 1x value as 1, we don't have its y value. We got the other x value as 5, and we don't have its y value. But obviously we can substitute it in here. So when x is equal to 1, what will your y be? So let's see. We go minus, open brackets, 1 minus fraction 7 over 2, close brackets, all squared, plus fraction 81 over 4. Boom. 14. So when I substitute 1 into my equation, I get 14. When I substitute 5 into my equation, what do I get? I get 18. Right. So now we got our 2 pairs of coordinates. Now we say, therefore, your average gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's call this x2, y2, x1, y1. So y2, 18 minus 14 over 5 minus 1. 18 minus 14 is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And there we go. That's your final answer. The average gradient between x equal 1 and x equal 5. I was absolutely shocked marking the papers to find out that some matriculants or some grade 12s at this juncture still don't know how to do this. This is butter and bread. These are questions you need to know in order to make sure that you're going to ace your exam. Right. Calculate the value of A, the x coordinate of point D. Right. So they want the value of A. So question number 3, I hope you've taken this one down. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to clear this from the board. Let's see, guys, you guys can start. National, I'm talking about, if you're watching from KZN, Limpopo, or any of the other 9 provinces, you can already start. Don't wait for me. I'm just talking. I get paid to talk. Right, what you need to do is you need to work. While I'm talking, you need to be working. So you make sure that the next question, you find the value of A. So question number 3, they need the value of small a, the x coordinate of D. The x coordinate of D. Right. What is A? A is the x coordinate of D. How do I find that? What is so special about point D? Point D is the point where the 2 graphs intersect. And wherever the 2 graphs touch, wherever 2 graphs intersect, what do we know? They are equal. Of course, you said it yourself. I heard you. I don't have big ears for nothing. Let's go. The value of A, the x coordinate of D. The 2 graphs are equal. So that means graph f of x is equal to g of x. So f of x minus into x minus 7 over 2 all squared plus 81 over 4 is equal to minus 3x plus 24. There we go, my lovely learners. Can you see what we've done? Remember, we love you guys. We're shouting you. It sounds like we're shouting you. But we just want the best for you guys. We just want that within 2 weeks' time, we want you to excel. Destination distinction. And inshallah, with the help of Allah, I promise you, if you listen to me, I hope I'm that voice in your ear in the exam to shout you and tell you, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Step by step. Go and tackle your paper and get your distinction, right? And maybe at the end of the year, maybe you can send me a big fat check and say, Mr. K, you can now officially retire. Ha! Will never happen. Let's go, right? Once you make your millions, you're going to say, forget about that bald Indian that used to come on TV and teach me. Right, let's go. Minus into x minus 7. All we have to do now, what do we need to do, guys? We need to solve for x. Ha! I know it's very easy. It's easier said than done. We put it there. But ask a grade 12 to actually go and do it. Come, let's see you solve for x. Right? This is the part where grade 12 messes up royally, wholesale. They claim they know their basics. But ask them to do this, yes, you know what happens. It's a disaster in the final, in the paper. Let's go. Let's break this up. This is minus into. We're squaring a binomial. So x squared minus, we multiply the 2 and times it by 2. So it's minus 7 over 2x times 2 is minus 7x plus, square the last term, 49 over 4. This is like x plus h all squared. X squared plus 2xh plus h squared, right? Plus, there we go, plus 81 over 4 plus 3x minus 24 is equal to 0. So minus x squared, I'm multiplying in, plus 7x minus 49 over 4 plus 81 over 4 plus 3x minus 24 is equal to 0. Ha! Let's multiply everything by 4. Let's get rid of this 4. So we multiply that by 4, multiply that by 4. We've got to multiply every single term by 4. So what do I get? I get minus 4x squared plus 28x minus 4 and 4 will cancel, 49 plus 81. The 4 and 4 will cancel, plus 12x minus 24 times 4, 96 is equal to 0. Faster than your calculator. Ha. Minus 4x squared minus 4x squared plus 28 plus 12 is plus 40x minus 49 minus 96 minus 135, am I right? Or minus 145? Minus 145, I think. Minus 96 minus 49 minus 140, minus 145. Minus 145 is equal to 0. We've only got 5 minutes left for today's show, guys. Do you know that? I told you time flies when you're having fun. Let's divide by negative. So we're going to get minus 40x plus 145 is equal to 0. So you're going to get 2x values here. Let's go to our calculators. And what does our calculator say? Go and factorize using your calculator again. So let's go to our calculator. Let's go there. Let's go 991. Let's go mode ax squared plus bx plus c. 4 equals minus 40 equals 145. Minus 40 equals, and then 145. I must have made a mistake here, guys. I think I must have made. Did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? We're supposed to get x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 8. Somewhere along the line, maybe I made a mistake in my calculation. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Let's go. Minus x squared plus 7x minus 49 over 4. That's correct. That's correct. Plus 81 over 4 plus 3x minus 24 is equal to 0 minus 4x squared plus 28x minus 49 plus 81 plus 12x minus 96 is equal to 0. Okay, so we got 4x squared plus 28 plus 12 is plus 40x minus 49 minus 1 minus 96 is minus 145. Guys, we're supposed to somewhere along the line, I'm sure, I think I made a mistake. But in any case, you're supposed to get where we're supposed to be now. I only got 2 minutes left. You're going to check it. We'll come back again in our next show and I'll do the correction. I'll check. I don't have the time now to check, but I know our two answers is x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 8. Right. So in fact, this value here must be 2 and that value there needs to be 8. I still can't figure out. Maybe you guys can help me. Maybe you can show me where I went wrong in my calculation here. Somewhere along the line, something hit a miss. Minus x minus 7 over 2. I'm going to check it one more time. Otherwise, I won't sleep tonight. Right. So minus into, that's x squared. Minus 7 over 2 times 2 is minus 7x plus 7 squared is 49 over 4 plus 81 over 4 plus 3x minus 24. That's correct. Minus x squared plus 7x minus 49 over 4 plus 81 plus that's correct. Times 4 minus 4x squared. 7 4s are 28. 49, 81. 4 times 3 is 12. 24, 48, 96. That's correct. Minus 4x squared, there we go. 28 plus 12 is 40. Minus 49 minus 96 minus 145. So it's 4x squared minus 40x plus 145 is equal to 0. Let's double check it, guys. Let's just double check it. I'm going to go through it one more time here. 4 equals minus 40. Oh, come on. Let's go again. 4 equals minus 40 equals, and then 145 equals. Huh? Somewhere along the line we hit a miss. But in any case, this is exactly what way it should be, right? After you factorize it, you're going to get your two values, x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 8, and those are going to be your two values, right? Because that's the place where the two graphs are equal. Guys, we don't have much time. We've come to the end of the show. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's segment. You know exactly what to do, right? Although we didn't get the correct here, this is not the correct. Somewhere along the line, there's an algebra error. I still can't figure it out, but you know what? I won't sleep tonight until I figure it out. But you know exactly what I'm doing. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember, keep your questions coming. The number on the screen, the 065. I think the guys in the studio can just put up the number one more time. 065-863-1440. Guys, you can send it anytime between now and next week Tuesday. Next week Tuesday, again, 9 o'clock, the live session. We're coming back on air, right? Same time, same channel with me, Mr. K, channel 347 here for Qurtuba Online. Guys, lots of love from Kway. Study hard. We believe in you, and we know you're going to smash this final exam. From me, Mr. K, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.